So here's how this whole thing came about. I'm going to go ahead and give you the backstory, and in so doing, you're going to learn how we mastered Facebook here, right? I've been desperate to make Facebook ads work for the longest time. I built my businesses in various different ways. I used to use YouTube. In fact, I still do, right? But there's something about Facebook that I've wanted to master. Because listen, don't get me wrong, free traffic strategies are great. I use it in my business, YouTube video, SEO, we do use those, but they're limiting, okay? They're limiting because you can't scale and you can't scale quick, okay? So here's why I knew I needed to be using Facebook for paid traffic to be able to scale quick. Well, there's 1.65 billion active users in 2016. In fact, there's 1.1 billion people logging onto Facebook every single day. And here's the thing, people want to engage on Facebook right now. Okay, go back when Facebook first launched, people didn't want to see videos and sponsored ads and images and all this kind of stuff. They just wanted to go on and see what their best friend had for dinner the night before, right? But now the average time spent per Facebook visit is 20 minutes. So people want to spend time on there and they want to engage, okay? Here's another reason. Facebook now have weeded out the bugs, they've weeded out the issues, and they have completely transformed their advertising platform. It's more advanced than ever, and there's literally never been a better time to jump on board, okay? And here's the final thing, success leaves clues. Every big brand is on Facebook. We need to learn something from that. If the big brands are on Facebook, that tells us something, and we need to learn, and we need to be on that platform too. Does that make sense? The opportunity on Facebook right now really is unmatched, and the timing couldn't be better. Like I said, they've cleaned up their network. They've made it easier than ever. They've made the targeting more advanced. If you just learn the simple process we're going to teach you tonight, the timing is literally no better for you to build and grow your business using Facebook ads, okay? There's a huge opportunity right now for the new person. You got to just do things the right way from the get-go, okay? So anyway, back to my story. Check this out. I knew I needed to learn Facebook ads. Can you guess what my next step was? All right, I'll tell you. I did my research. I found a few Facebook advertising training programs that people seemed to speak very highly of. So I pulled out my credit card, I made my purchase, and then guess what I did? I did something that not many people actually do. I got busy. I started going through the training, digesting it, getting ready to implement this thing. Okay, you know, I told you at the beginning of this webinar that 70% of people that register for a training like this don't even show up. Well, guess what? In my experience, anyone who purchases a training program from me, or any information program for that matter, about 70% don't even go through the training that they paid for. Isn't that just absurd? I never do that, right? I'm an action taker when it comes to seeing an offer that I know I need, and I'm an action taker to actually go through the training. And I got busy. And after a couple of weeks, I'd gone through all the training and I was ready to set up my first ad. I followed all the steps, right? I created the ad. I told Facebook how much I wanted to pay. I told Facebook who I wanted to see my ad, and I made the ad go live. And I couldn't sleep that night. I was super excited. I could not wait to get up the next morning, right? In fact, I did something I never normally do. I got up early the next morning. I never get up early, right? It's one of my guilty pleasures. I normally sleep in till about 10 in the morning, okay? I know, no, I shouldn't. I should get up early. I get that. This is one of those areas where I make the mistakes, but I just like sleep, right? I get up at 10 in the morning most mornings. This morning, I got up well early. Okay, I wanted to see the results of my campaigns. I wanted to see how much money I had made from the campaign I set the other night. Well, guess what? Here's what I saw. I spent $100, and the result was a bunch of clicks, 2 leads, and 0 sales. Okay, it's actually quite upsetting, to say the least. You know, when you go through a training and it's just you expect it to be the winner, right? You know, you have that moment where you go, "This is it. I know this is the one that is going to work." And when I saw this, it's a little bit disheartening, right? But one thing I had learned was to give it time. Okay, let the averages play out. So I left the ad running another week, and every day I checked, and every day I was disappointed. And by the end of the week, I'd spent over $1,000 for about 10 leads and still 0 sales, right? I was confused, frustrated. It was actually very, very annoying. I don't know if you guys are like me. If you guys are action takers and actually go through training like I do, when you spend hours and hours and hours going through a training and then implementing it, it not work, and then you not knowing how to fix it. To me, that's the most frustrating thing on the entire planet. Can any of you resonate with that? Go ahead and put a number 2 in the questions box if you can resonate with that. Okay, oh, there's a bunch of you. Okay, We're all in the same boat then. Well, check this out. Here's what happened from that point. I knew I needed to humble myself and ask someone for help and coaching. Okay. Introducing my now business partner, Jabril Agoro. Okay, I met this guy about 3 or 4 years ago at a marketing event. We hit it off. We became really good friends. And he's just one of those friends that, you never really utilize in the way of their skill set. You just know what they're good at. And he was the Facebook guy. Okay, here's a little bit just to share with you his credentials, right? He's a Facebook advertising expert. He controls hundreds of thousands of dollars worth in ad spend every single month. And he's been responsible for over $4 million in revenue. In fact, it's way surpassed that now. And he's the most sought after speaker on Facebook marketing. And here's the big thing. He's actually behind the scenes doing this stuff, right? Most gurus just teach you theory. He's one of the guys that actually is behind the scenes, clicking away on his keypad, getting the stuff done, okay? Any of you recognize either of these names? Give me a yes in the questions box. If you recognize Ty Lopez or Brandon Carter, go ahead and give me a yes in the questions box. Okay, a bunch of yeses coming in. Ty Lopez, one of the biggest names in internet marketing. Brandon Carter, one of the biggest names in fitness. Guess who trained their marketing teams on the Facebook ads? It was Jabril Agoro. Okay, so I think it's safe to say this is a guy that we need to learn from, and I've already learned from. And I offered to pay him $10,000 just to take a look at my campaigns. I knew that's how much Jabril charged for training and for coaching, and I knew the value that he could give to my business, because I know that seems like a lot of money, but I knew that if I could just crack the code on this Facebook stuff and Jabril was able to help me, I would far surpass this. It would be worth far more to me, okay? Now, needless to say, as a friend, he refused my money, but still helped me, which was very, very nice of him. And he agreed to take a look and said he'd call me back in an hour. So I gave him my login details. I let him go, and I was literally waiting. I'm not joking. I was waiting by my phone the entire time for the call back, right? And then I got the call. In fact, he was a little bit late. He took about an hour and 10 minutes, and I was freaking out for a minute. I was just waiting by my phone. And check this out. He was just laughing down the phone to me. He didn't even say hi. He just started laughing, and I'm kind of thinking, what's going on here? Why are you laughing at me? What's going on, right? It only lasted about 10 seconds, but it was a long 10 seconds. And he said, look, dude, I'm not laughing at you. The reason I'm giggling is because the mistakes that you've made inside of your Facebook advertising account, they're so simple to fix. And it's the same mistakes that I see every single other budding entrepreneur and business owner and marketer doing in their Facebook ads too. Every single one of his customers and clients, he sees the same thing. And he helped me tweak them. And he told me exactly what I needed to do and to change. And it was only then that I realized how incomplete all of these training programs were that I had purchased. I'm not joking and I'm not exaggerating when I say an hour on the phone with Jabril, I learned more about actually making Facebook ads work than all of these other training programs that I had purchased. And long story short, with the help and guidance of Jabril, I went from losing thousands on Facebook to spending $30,000 a month and returning $100,000 a month in revenue. And get this, generating 300 to 500 leads every single day for my business. It blew me away, and I knew I had to bring him out on a training to share this stuff with you guys. And so here's what we're going to be covering in today's training. Go ahead and write this down. Secret number one, Jabril is going to come out and show you the behind the scenes of a Facebook ad campaign that is returning $625 for every $20 spent in a very unusual niche. I think you're going to really find this interesting. Secret number two, I'm then going to come back out and I'm going to show you the results after spending $284,000. In fact, it's gone well over that now. I should have actually changed this slide. It's almost $400,000 on Facebook ads in the past 15 to 16 months. And secret number three is the hidden treasures behind Facebook ads that's been responsible for multiple six figures in additional income for me for free. Does this sound cool? You guys ready to learn some of this stuff? Go ahead and give me number one in the questions box. And number one in the questions box if you are fired up for this training and as excited as I am. I've set the context and now we're going to get straight into this stuff. Awesome. George puts a gazillion ones. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Who said let's go? Alexander said
so without any more time, I'm going to get right into it. So for me, one of the most important things is content. Content is king. And the funny thing is, the formula is pretty simple. You just have to put in the work. And so a lot of people really just don't understand that. And so I want to show you how I've completely transformed, not only my business, but the business partners that, that I've worked with by showing them, this content. And one of the main reasons why on Facebook, like John was saying, people are not on Facebook to, buy things. They're there to consume content. And so my number one rule is understand your audience, and it will lead you to the promised land. I cannot promise you that enough. If you understand your audience, it will lead you to this promised land. And I'm going to break that down in detail, what that actually means. And so there's a few different formulas that you can use on Facebook. So you have Facebook ad to a blog post to your offer, right? I would say I'm different than probably about 98% of different marketers out there. And so not a lot of people do this way, and I want to show you how effective it is. And I do this every single day, and we absolutely crush with it. And then there's another way, which I do use, and it's very useful and effective. That's Facebook ad to your funnel to your offer. Really, really, really powerful. And then you can do Facebook ad to your offer. If you're in e-commerce or something like that, you can do that. But you don't want to do it with too high price of a product. Like I pretty much wouldn't go higher than like $80, $100 if you're going directly to an offer. And I'll explain the reason why. Because but if you're on some place like Amazon or something, but you don't want to promote Amazon, you want to promote your own website, because that's another thing. A lot of people get their accounts banned and a whole bunch of other things like that. And so I can say successfully, for the last 4 years, I've not had one account shut down. And now that's almost unheard of for, quote unquote, internet marketers, is because I do it in a completely different way than most marketers do. So I want to share with you here that and this is even an older screenshot. I haven't updated it, but here you can see from this one campaign, this is for funnel process for email opt-ins, and this is double opt-ins using Infusionsoft. And here's just one single campaign, and you can see here, and this is a long copy post. John will explain that a little bit later on as well. So all that means is it's a lot of words. It's a story post, and I've done 81,000 leads with this campaign. It's actually even higher now, and at 20 cents a lead on average. So 81,000 leads. I want you guys to think about how much your business would change if you had 81,000 highly engaged people opting into your email opt-in list. And now this is just one campaign within the account. Now look at here. Now this is a video campaign, and this video is like a 13-minute video. And so you can see here, it's a little bit more expensive than the long copy written ad, but 44,000 leads at 22 cents a lead, right? It's pretty incredible. And you can see here, just like really, really crazy numbers. And as you can see here, in the last year, 240,000 leads within this one. If you're not familiar with Infusionsoft, this is like if you have Aweather, MailChimp, it's just a CRM platform. And then here's another cool thing. Not only building big lists, but having an insanely high open rate, right? 35%. If we have really, really good emails, we can have like 40, 45%. And most people are like, what? How do you do that? You do that by doing things differently than most people. And here's the funny thing. I'll say it again. The numbers are actually way higher right now. But let me show you one specific campaign that I've been doing. And there are so many different niches that you can utilize, but I only have time here to show you one thing tonight. But inside of our additional training, we have so many different examples. But I want to show you one specific example. If you know anything about me, I like traveling. I've been traveling all around the world for the last 7 years. I don't want to make this a personal thing, but I mean, in the last 2 weeks, I've been to Colombia, I've been to Panama, I've been to Miami. Right now, I just flew into Chicago. If you believe, it's been crazy. And so here's a travel example. And I want to show you why not to go straight to the offer, right? So here's an example of a credit card ad. It's not too personalized. There's not too much going on with it. But so Chase, right, they want to, because I know a lot about travel, you might not, but with 50,000, points, you could actually book like a round trip ticket to a lot of places around the world, even like off to Europe. You could book probably 2 flights within the United States, and all you have to do is like pay the taxes. But like if you saw this ad in your Facebook timeline right here, give me a 1 if you would click it. and then a 2 if you wouldn't. So 2 if you wouldn't, everyone's like, okay, so like 90, I'm saying about 90% of you are saying that you would not click it if you saw it in your timeline, right? It's not very personalized. But now let me show you a different example, right? So I told you, here's formula option number 1, Facebook ad to a blog post to your offer. And so now here's a different ad. So here's me and my friends hanging out in Panama City, Panama. And now look at this. I say, how I get free flights, no BS. This is a very straightforward method to getting, free flights. The majority of the flights I take during the year, I actually pay for. But there are a few times, I get free flights. And I didn't utilize this method for years, and I lost out of tons of free flights. And then I have, how to get free flights. And then I actually put a link here to the blog post. And I say, much love, have a great Tuesday. And if you have any comments, boom, right? And this ad is so good. I was actually talking to John recently. I sent him a screenshot. Some guy literally copied my exact same text. I was like, what the heck? Man, at least give me some credit. And like, he changed his picture, of course, but he used my exact same text. And it was like impossible that he didn't copy because it was like the exact same. I was like, oh my God, this is not even funny. But whatever, that's when you have good things, right? So now, by a show of hands, how many of you would click? So would you click the Chase ad, put 1, or number 2 if you would click on this ad if you saw it in the timeline? Okay, everyone. What's it called? Alexander says clickbait. Yes. There's a couple people, like literally it's like 99 to 1 out of everyone online is saying everyone. Sarah's like, I want to click it right now. Awesome, right? So, and this is like the major difference. I want to explain to you now what the difference are in numbers as well, right? So when they click that, they go to a blog post, and then I explain to them, hey, see, look, 35,000 miles, and you can go round trip to San Juan, Puerto Rico, to Chicago. Like right now I'm in Chicago, right? So, and people are like, what? I had no idea this is the way things work. And not only, I actually have this personal credit card, and then you get like first class. When you go to the airport, there's like economy, and then there's first class check-in. You get to go to first class check-in with that. And the kicker about this card is as soon as you spend your first dollar, you get these miles bonus to you and all these awards. And then it comes with, and the first year is free for the card, and then after that, each year you pay $95 to maintain the card, which is nothing. And then there's a bunch of other bonuses, but I won't like really go into it that much more. But there's so much that comes with it, right? So I have this highly informative blog post, and so people are super happy. And then at the bottom of that blog post, I put a link to the offer, which is the credit card to sign up for, right? And so don't be lazy, and it will pay off. And so if you create specific content for your audiences, it does so well. And how-to information does phenomenally well. And it's so easy out here because people are lazy, right? Like most marketers would be like, okay, credit card offer, here's a thing, click it, sign up for a credit card, right? And so I'm like, no, don't do that. People are human. Think like humans. Like I was like, especially on Facebook. But that's why it's so easy, because most people, and the herd is following the herd, just doing it like everyone else. And so being helpful pays off big time. So in the affiliate world, if you don't know what affiliate marketing is, so let's say you have Amazon, for example, and Amazon they're selling a TV, and you have a blog reviewing TVs, and then you put a special link on your website, and someone clicks that link on your website and purchases a TV through your link, you would be an affiliate of Amazon, and they would pay you for the TV that they purchase and anything else that they purchase. And so the same here with this. Like if I have a special link on my website for the credit card, and someone actually goes and signs up for that credit card, I would be paid for that person signing up for the credit card. And credit cards are one of the most lucrative ways of doing affiliate marketing online. You can get anywhere from like $75 to $300 for a credit card sign up. Because here's the thing, right? So these big companies, Chase, MasterCard, Barclays, banks, Wells Fargo's, they want to sell more credit cards. They want to get more people signing up because they know how much they're worth to the company. And so they spend millions. They have billion-dollar campaigns. So they're like, hey, if you could actually send us some great customers, we'll pay you a specific amount of money, and we'll keep paying you because we know how much we have to spend on an ad to even retain a customer, right? So let's say, for example, here, like I have the MasterCard, and the company wants to push more credit cards. MasterCard will pay you, $125 per new card, right? For each new person that signs up for a card, they'll pay $125. And we go over so many different other affiliate programs because, so with the credit cards, not everyone is approved to sell credit cards because you have to have kind of like an established blog and make sure that you have good content. And there's other offers where you don't even need to have any established, like Amazon, eBay, where we've made a ton of money. But like I'm just saying for this example, right? So now let's take a look at the numbers, and this is where it gets interesting, right? So here you can see I'm paying 4 cents for website click, right? 4 cents for each person clicking on the link in the ad. And so here's the kicker. You can see here 21% click-through rate. So that means 1 out of every 5 people that see my ad in the timeline are clicking it. 1 out of 5, right? And so here's a really cool thing. So now with the chase, it would probably be about half of 1%. So that means 200 people have to see it in the timeline before they click it. And now here's the thing that really separates things. So while I'm paying 4 cents a website click, now a lot of people, like there where they have to show it 200 times, they're probably paying about $3 a click. And so it becomes almost impossible, even though it's the same amount of traffic, the same keywords, it could be the same everything, but just because the ad is different, then one person's paying 4 cents, and now another person is paying $3 a click because Facebook will reward you for showing content that their audience actually wants to see. And then Facebook doesn't have to use as much real estate to get a click on their ad, so they reward you in a really big way. And this is why a lot of people say Facebook ads don't work, because they don't target right. And then on top of that, they don't create the correct ad content. And so, actually, before I go on any further, give me an 8 if that's making sense to you. Like, because I just want to make sure I'm not speaking too fast. I get excited like John. Okay, 8. Okay, awesome. I'm glad that you're learning, because we really want to make this value packed and make sure that you learn something, here on the webinar. So now let's talk about, the numbers. So MasterCard's paying $125 per card. So I'm paying 4 cents per website click, right? So on a high end, I would say 100 clicks to make a sale. In reality, it's more like 1 out of 20 because the offer is so good and it's presented in such a good way. And I target, and here's like the really cool thing. You can target people. So someone who likes Expedia. I show this to like highly targeted people. So someone who likes Expedia, they might like Orbitz, Booking.com, Airbnb. So I know that they're already into travel and it's related to them, right? So on a high end, let's say it takes 100 clicks. So that's $4 in ad spend to make a $125 sale, right? So that's pretty good. But now with any logical person, you're going to want to scale up, right? So let's say now that we're spending $20 a day, and that would equal 5 sales, which would be $625 in revenue. But that's not all profit. So you have to minus your $20 in advertising spend, right? And now you'd be left with $605 a day. For a week, $4,200. In 1 month, $16,000. And then in 1 year, for just one offer, you can see $200,000. And now here's the thing. I want to be transparent. Like sometimes after a month or whatever, basically, as big as the audience is, it might start to fizzle out after, a month or 2 months, 3 months, because some people jam it super quick. Some people let it spread out over time. But you will see numbers, fluctuate over time. But like this is something that you can do. And like I wanted to just let you know, like literally people are paying so much less for the same keywords, and they're like, wow, some people can run their ads for like a year and it seems like they're just winning and their pages are growing. This is why, because they're doing things in the right way. Now let me switch up the numbers. Give me a 16 if that like makes sense to you and that's got you like basically got your wheels turning. Okay, awesome. So like I could go on and on with so many different examples. And so I only have time for one example, but the thing is, the same principle applies to like small online business. So like maybe you have a doctor's office, maybe you're a local photographer. You can do the same type of principles locally. I could show you an example, right? Or like I said, local business owner, affiliate marketing, you're a coach or a consultant, direct sales, network marketing, or you could be like a social media manager and you want to increase your value that you bring to the table, right? You could run ads for the company that you do. You're like, wow, I'm not going to be a social media manager. I can help you acquire new traffic to people who don't even know who you are already, right? And I know people who do this who get paid $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month for individual companies, right? Imagine if you're helping out a doctor's office or a plastic surgeon's office, right? By creating great content for them. And so I'll tell you one little secret before I go here with John. So the way I do things when I work with partners and other businesses, I say, hey, I know I'm so good at what I do and I know that we're going to get results. I don't even need money up front. Just give me a credit card and let me go to work and let's split, the profits that I can help you generate. And it's like pretty much every business owner is like, well, damn, that's so much different than agencies who want a bunch of money up front and a bunch of other things. And so it's like, because you believe in what it is that you're doing. And that's the way that I do things. And I get to make a lot more money than most people. I won't even talk about my numbers. I'll keep it humble, but I'll just say I've done some extraordinary numbers that most people, like in a week's time, that most people would be happy to make in a year. But anyways, I'm going to pass it back to John, and I'm going to let you take it away from here.
Awesome, brother. I was muted there for a second. Let me go ahead and grab the screen back again. Just pop this like this. All right, let me know if you can see my screen, dude. Can you
Yes,
see
I
me?
can. Secret number two, I see it.
Awesome. Fantastic. So you guys excited by that training? Are you seeing now why I wanted to bring this guy out? Jabril does things different to literally everyone else that I've seen in the industry, any other training I've gone through. No one teaches these kind of principles, right? Value first, understanding your audience, giving them what they need in that very moment, right? This super, super cool stuff. So here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and transition now and actually share with you some of the results from my personal business, my personal accounts and campaigns. And this is stuff that I learned from Jabril. It's super, super cool. So let's get straight into this. I think you guys are going to love this, and we're rapidly running out of time, and I want to get to you give you as much as possible. So, secret number two, I want to share with you the results after spending almost $400,000 on Facebook ads in the past 15 to 60 months. Okay, and again, if you've just joined us, just so you know that you are actually learning from someone who's out there in the field doing this stuff. These are verified screenshots from my personal Stripe account. You can see we've done $1.2 million in this one Stripe account, and just very, very exciting stuff. And pretty much about 95% of this revenue came from our Facebook ads. It's super duper cool. So we're doing some huge, huge numbers, okay? And here's the results in terms of what we're getting on our ads. Check this out. We've got video ads. They're getting 1.2 million views. We've got ads that have got 1.8 million views and almost 10,000 shares on it. And we've got image ads getting in front of, well over 100,000 people. I mean, do me a favor. Give me a number one in the questions box if you think that it would benefit you and you could make more money in your business if you could get in front of audiences of this size. Just give me number one if you think, regardless of the ad, if you could get in front of that many people, would you be making money inside of your business? Okay, a bunch of yeses. Alexander actually types out number one. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So check this out. Let's actually dive a bit deeper and take a look at some of these results that we've gotten. And here's what's really important for you to understand before we go any further is that we started small, okay? We didn't just suddenly get 1.8 million views on a video, okay? We didn't suddenly just get in front of 4 million people with our image ad, okay? That didn't happen overnight. We started small. We started with a really small budget. In fact, inside of our training program, we actually teach our students to start with a budget of $3 to $5 a day per ad. So really small. I think everyone's got $3 to $5 to start testing some ads. And then once you start getting the results that you need, then you can just reinvest the profits and keep scaling. Okay. So you don't need to get freaked out by the big numbers, and you don't need to get freaked out by the idea that you've got to front loads and loads and loads of money. Yes, you are going to have to put some investment up front. Okay, we're paying Facebook for their ads, but we can then reinvest our profits and scale infinitely. Okay, so 3 things you need to know before getting started. Okay, it's actually very inexpensive. Like I've shared with you, you can start with a really, really small budget and then just start reinvesting your profits. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, once you know the procedure, once you know the model and the process and the formula, it actually becomes very simple to duplicate ads, duplicate campaigns, and scale your ads. And this is where it gets fun. I'm telling you, okay, when you learn the skills to put $1 into Facebook and get $3 back out, regardless of what you promote, regardless of your business, and regardless of your background, if you can learn that skill, I'm telling you, that's fun. It's like an online casino that you literally never lose. You put $1 in, get $3 back out. And we've done it to the tune of well over $1 million. So I think we've proven the procedure. So check this out. Let's dive into my personal campaigns. Okay, I had a YouTube training program. This is what we were selling. This is what we were promoting. This was my offer. I know some of you are interested to know what we were actually promoting. Well, we were teaching business owners how to use YouTube for their business, and we put some ads together. Okay, these are the 2 types of ads that worked best for us. One type of ad was a video ad. This is actually, a screenshot of that video. In fact, ironically enough, it's me and Jabril. We were just hanging out in Bali. Okay, and so this is one of our best types of ads, and I'm going to delve a bit deeper into this in just a moment. The second, now Jabril touched on this, a moment ago, is what we call a story ad or a long form ad. And it's basically an ad that has a bunch of text, okay? So someone is reading your story and reading your text, and then they come to the end and they click this link and they come to your website, okay? Surprisingly enough, these ads work really, really well, okay? And I'm going to share a bit more about that with you in just a moment. So let's start with video, okay? What are the biggest tips that I can give you when it comes to video? Well, the first is that you don't need big fancy videos, okay? We tested it, okay? We tested doing some really big budget, like high production, videos, and we thought, man, we could probably sell people with entertainment. Why don't we just entertain them and then, drive traffic to our website? And guess what? It didn't work as well as the simple videos. This one here, like I said, is one of our best performing videos, and it's literally just me and Jabril hanging out in Bali talking about YouTube and then telling them to come to the site to learn more. Okay, really, really simple ad. Okay, so you don't need the big fancy videos, especially if you're doing something like e-commerce, right? You just need a simple video that shows your product, right? If you're doing affiliate marketing, just a simple video that is telling the story of the product you're promoting or whatever else. Simple videos. You just have to focus on value and or curiosity. Okay, I'm telling you, we have tested videos that purely entertain and purely bring about curiosity, okay, and they oftentimes don't work as well as the videos that actually we provide some value. One of our top performing videos on Facebook, aside from this one, okay, it's one that Jabril ran. It's a 13-minute long video. Okay, now I'm not saying you've got to do a 13-minute video, but that's one of our best performing videos, and it's 13 minutes. Okay, the reason why someone was willing to stay that long on the video and then still take action and actually be some of our cheapest traffic from Facebook and our highest quality is because it was value packed. Okay, is this making sense to you guys? Let me ask you a question. Who doesn't want to shoot video? How many of you are out there listening to this saying, well, that sounds great, but for whatever reason, my personal circumstances, I do not want to be shooting videos. I want to find another way. Give me a number 1 in the questions box. I'm just curious. You can be honest. We're friends here. Okay, someone says, who's that? Sarah says, I hate it. Okay, and a bunch of other ones coming in. Okay, awesome. I appreciate your honesty. Well, check this out. Here's the second type of ad that I was telling you about. It's called a story ad. Okay, here's how it looks in your news feed. It's a simple image proving that you don't need, a big fancy video, a big fancy image of, you on stage or your product being featured on some kind of crazy magazine. You don't need that. This is just a mugshot of me in my little pink shirt, in Miami. Okay, so you don't need a fancy video. You just need to have a mugshot. And what happens is someone reads this, they get interested, they click continue reading, and then I've had to chop this up into 3 screenshots to fit on the blooming slide. But someone's then going to read all this text and then get to the end and click this link. Now, I first told Jabril, when he showed me this, I said to him, dude, there is no way that an ad like this is going to work. Okay, I just didn't believe him. I was like, no one is going to read all of this text and then get to the end and click this link, and it's going to be cheaper traffic and better quality than anything else we're doing. Okay, well, guess what? We ran it, we tested it. He proved me wrong. These ads, these long story ads, they outperform most of my videos. Pretty much every other ad that I've put out there. And the reason behind it is this. If someone is willing to read all of this text, okay, if they've made their way all the way through this, they've committed to reading this, then by the time they click this link, they're going to take any action you want, okay, whether it's opting in for your email list, whether it's purchasing your product, whether it's, it's filling out an application for your product or service, whatever it is. If they've taken this much time with your content, they're then going to follow through. Does that make sense? This is why this works so well. And you can see how good this ad is. We've had almost 2,000 likes on this thing. Okay, this is not even one of our biggest ones. Okay, so let me explain why Facebook hasn't worked for you in the past if you've tried it. And if you haven't, then you're about to learn something really, really cool. Okay, you need to take note of this. This is one of those things that Jabril taught me when we first got started. Okay, here's how most people put their Facebook ads together. Let's use this one as an example. Okay, you put your ad together, you get all excited, and then what do? You create your ad and you tell Facebook who you want to see your ad. So you say, okay, I want you to show it to audience 1. I want you to show it. Let's say you have a cooking program or a cooking website. So you say, Facebook, I want you to show this ad to fans of Jamie Oliver and fans of Gordon Ramsay and fans of BBC Food and fans of, whatever else, Whole Foods, whatever it is. Okay. And what happens? The results come back. The ad didn't work. It didn't convert. It didn't make you money. Okay, it just didn't work for you. Okay, so this is the point where most people leave and go screaming, and make Facebook posts. Oh, Facebook ads doesn't work. It's a scam. It doesn't. Listen, those people are the people that are not willing to give it a bit of time to actually learn the skills that they need. Okay, because actually, check this out. Here's what you needed to do. You actually needed to duplicate that exact same ad multiple times. Don't change anything about the ad. Duplicate the exact same ad and show each duplication to each audience. The reason we do this is now we can see how each individual audience is performing against each other. Does that make sense? So check this out. You run the ads, the results come back, and look at this. Audience 1, 2, 3, and 5, they didn't work. They didn't make you money. In fact, they lost you money. You were very upset. But check this out. Audience 4, this worked. For whatever reason, audience 4 liked your ad, they interacted with it, they enjoyed it, they clicked the link and they came and purchased your programs and you made money. You put $1 into advertising and you got $3 back out, or you put $100 into advertising, you got $300 back out. You're loving it, right? So what do? You just turn off audience 1, 2, 3, and 5. You never run to them again, and then you just scale up audience 4. You say, okay, I put $100 in, I got 300 out. Well, I'm going to put $1,000 in now, I'm going to get 3,000 out. See what I mean? And you only scale the winner. So this ad that you thought didn't work, okay, that those people went kicking and screaming and claiming that Facebook ads is a scam and doesn't work, well, actually, there was a winner in there. They just didn't take the time to find it. They didn't take the time to test and tweak and then find it and then scale. Is this making sense? Are you guys following me? Give me a yes in the questions box if you're following me and this is making sense. Sarah says, you clever bugger. That's awesome. Okay, Jonathan says, this is gold. Fantastic. It's making sense. Well, check this out. We're going to go a step further. You can do male and female, okay? You can find which one's working there. You can do age groups, okay? And this is a very, very basic example, okay? There are far more variables. I mean, you can test infinite amount of variables, infinite amount of targeting groups, but let's just give you 3 very, very simple. Look, you found out that audience 4 who were male between 25 and 35, they interacted with your ad the best, okay? For them, you put money in and you actually made more money back, okay? So then you scale this winner, okay? Check this out. You can do the same with your text, okay? Now we're going to split test our text. We're going to duplicate our ad multiple times and we're just going to change the text and then we're going to see which one gets the better results and turn off the old ones and only keep the one running that outperformed the others. So you can do the same again. You've got the same ad and you do headline 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and you find the winner and you turn off the losers and scale the winners. Okay, I'm telling you, this is when it starts to get fun. You're literally creating money. You send Facebook $1, they send you 2 or 3 back, you're laughing, and you reinvest and you keep making more. Listen, how many times would you do that? I don't need to ask you in the questions box, because I know what the answer is going to be. It's going to be infinite, isn't it? That's how many times we want to do it, and that's how many times we are doing it. And we're doing very, very well. And I want you to imagine something. Imagine you spend a couple of weeks testing your ads, finding the winners and scaling them up. Now you have a near automated traffic machine pumping profitable traffic for you every single day. I want to make a promise to you. I promise that this is the reason why 95% of people do not succeed in this industry. It's because they're not willing to do this part here. Look at this. A couple of weeks testing, okay? Maybe it would be a month of testing. Who knows? Everyone's results are going to be different, but the people that are not successful and continue to not get results are the people that are not willing to actually spend a bit of time and a bit of money investing to find the winners and scale those ones up. Everyone seems to be deluded by this idea of make riches overnight. Okay. Now, there's nothing, I'm not blaming them, because I got sucked into that when I first came into this industry, but it's not realistic and it's not accurate. Okay. The people who are successful are the ones that take time, spend time testing, tweaking, and then they're led to the promised land. So do me a favor. If you commit to being this person, okay, that is actually going to take time, okay, and know that actually it's going to take a bit of testing in the beginning, but then you're going to get the results and you can scale. Give me a number 1 in the questions box. I want to see how many of you are actually on board with the stuff we're talking about here, because I promise you this is the way to get results. Okay, awesome. A bunch of you saying 11111. Fantastic, fantastic. Great to see you guys are on board. Now listen, that's how you get to these kind of numbers. Okay, like I said to you when I started, secret number 2. Okay, you don't just get these numbers overnight. Okay, it's a process. And then once you figure out the process and it starts to work, then these numbers start to happen, and these numbers start to happen. Okay, I'm promising you, it's super duper exciting. Okay, listen, check this out. Before we move on to secret number 3, I want to share with you an awesome testimonial that we had from one of our customers of our training program called Tom Render. We did, I held an event, I actually held an annual event called Frontline Marketer Live in London. And at one of our past events, we did a Q&A session. And we asked people in the audience if they had any questions. And this guy, Tom Render, who we didn't know at the time, he was in our training. And he started his question. I say question, it wasn't a question. He said, you guys gave me a massive problem. And we're thinking, oh gosh, what's he going to say? He's going to embarrass us in front of everyone. And he didn't. He went on to say, we went from 1 sale a month to making £1,000 a week. And we literally had to shut off all of our ads because we were overloaded with orders. And Tom Render actually just sells tiny little physical hand-stitched goods. It's unbelievable. And he's making £1,000 a week selling hand-stitched goods on Facebook. Absolutely unbelievable. And he's given us an update now. He said ads are back on now and returning 300 to 400% ROI on his ad spend. How cool is that? And he managed, so we brought him up on stage and we had him share it from stage. It was absolutely awesome. Okay. So this works. This stuff works. So secret number 3, the hidden treasure behind Facebook ads that has been responsible for multiple 6 figures in additional income for me for free. I want to share with you some super, super cool stuff. Here are the 4 treasures, and then we're going to get into them. Number 1, likes on your page. Number 2, shares. Number 3, private messages. And number 4, the long game. Let's dive a little bit deeper. When you run an ad on Facebook and it looks like this, okay, you will notice up in the top left-hand corner, it will say sponsored, and it will say that it's coming from somebody, right? It's coming from a certain Facebook page. That would be your business page, okay? You need to know that when you run your ad like this, a large majority of people are going to see this and they're not going to click the link you want them to. They're actually going to click on this and see who the ad is coming from, okay? And when they come over to your page, they're going to have the ability to go ahead and hit like on your page and follow your page to get updates and more information and more stuff from you to basically come into your world. Okay. Now, actually, I think this screenshot's a little bit old. We're actually well over 30,000. I think we're into the 40,000s now on this page. And we built this page from scratch, 0 likes. And these are all real likes, by the way, 100% real people who have seen our Facebook ads and said, yeah, I want to see more from you. They've come to our page and they've hit like, okay? So let me ask you a question. How many of you think that if I was to, at some point, make a post on my Facebook page that was talking about a product or service that I had and I sent them to my website, how many of you think that I might make just a few sales from 30,000 people? Just go ahead and give me a yes in the questions box if you think there's a good chance that I could make a few sales by posting to this group of, at the time of taking this screenshot, 30,000 people. Okay, you're all saying yes. Absolutely, of course I would. So now let me set the context here. Have I paid anything extra for these sales? No, is the answer. Okay? I have not paid anything extra, nor are these extra sales visible or trackable inside of my ad account. So at some point in time, I ran some ads. These people liked my page, and now later on down the line, maybe a week down the line, a month down the line, maybe even a year down the line, someone is going to continuously have the chance to purchase from me or to come into my world and join my funnels and join my websites and eventually purchase something. And I'm making additional income here that is not trackable inside my ad account. And most people miss this, okay? Here's the second one, shares. Check this out. You guys are going to love this. Let's zoom in on those three examples here. We've got one video here that's got almost 9,000 shares on it. Okay, we've got another one with 146, another one with 568. Firstly, let me just point out how ludicrous it is that people are literally sharing advertisements. Is it just me that thinks that's absolutely bonkers? That on this video, that is an ad. Let's not forget this. This is me promoting my website, promoting my products and services. And I've had almost 9,000 people say, you know what, that's good stuff. I want to share that with my friends on Facebook. That's crazy. The reason why we're able to do that, okay? Because listen, how many people are actually going to share that Chase ad that Jabril showed you earlier? No one is going to share that Chase ad, okay? But people share our stuff. Why? Because we focus on value. If you focus on value, not only will you get better results for the ad itself, but it actually becomes shareable content, okay? Because it's more like content than it is an ad. Is that making sense? So let me show you the math here. The average person on Facebook, and you guys are going to freak out when you see this. The average person on Facebook has 200 friends, okay? The average person. So check this out. For 146 shares, that exposure got me in front of a potential 29,200 free visitors, okay? That's crazy. This ad over here that got 568 shares times that by 200 friends, okay? I got in front of a potential 113,600 additional people for free. It didn't cost me anything, okay? And then here's the big daddy, 8,715 shares. That got me in front of a potential 1.7 million people absolutely free. I did not pay anything for these shares, and they are just sharing that out to their audience for free, not costing me a thing. I just want to know, this is really important. Is it just me that this is like, that I just think this is ludicrous? Is this cool stuff? Go ahead and give me number 1 in the questions box if this is cool stuff, okay? And you're seeing the power of this now. Okay, awesome. Suzanne says really cool. Fantastic. So here's number 3. Private messages. You need to remember, okay, that when they're also on your page, a lot of people are actually going to hit this button up here and click send a message. And they're going to send a message to your Facebook page. So it's really important that you monitor this, okay? You can see how many messages I get inside of my Facebook page that if I wasn't monitoring, I would have missed. And you get messages like this. Getting your course, John, very excited. This person actually asked me to put him on my mailing list. Like, when have you ever heard of someone asking to be put on a mailing list, okay? And I would have missed that lead if I didn't come into my messages. This person said, hi, John, can you send me the direct link to buy your course? Yes, I know you have a free video series, but I'm ready to buy. Isn't that insane? This person just needed a little bit of interaction, and he was ready to make a buying decision. If I had missed this message, I might have missed this sale. Does that make sense? This is another place where we make additional income and additional sales that a lot of people miss. Okay? Now, number 4, the long game. Most people focus on the short game. What I mean by that is, let's say you put $1,000 into Facebook and you generate 1,000 leads for your business. Well, most people play the short game of trying, freaking out and making sure that they're making sales immediately and making profit immediately. Otherwise, like I said, they're going to freak out. Okay. Well, I play what we call the long game. Okay. I don't necessarily frantically look for that immediate income. Of course, I want it, and in fact, we still do very well. When we put $1,000 into Facebook, we normally immediately get 3,000 back out. Okay, and that's just because we do things really, really well, like we've been teaching you here on this training. But most people scramble just to make their money back when they don't focus on the long game. If you take time to build a relationship with your audience and build a relationship with your prospects and leads and the people that are coming into your world, then later on down the line, $5,000 will spit itself back out. This is obviously resembling your funnel, your process, your brand. Is this making sense? Let me explain this in a slightly different way. I had this graph put together. Income versus lifetime of a lead. Let's say you're generating leads for your business, right? This red line is illustrating someone who plays the short game. Okay, someone joins your list and you frantically just buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy my product, buy my service, do this, do that. Okay, you might make a little bit of extra sales, initially, but then eventually those leads are going to die off. They're getting no value from you. They're getting no content, and by a month, that list is dead. Okay, they're not interacting, not opening your email. They're certainly not buying your products and services anymore. Okay, whereas this green line, these are the people like myself, Jabril, and I'm hoping everyone here on this webinar from now on, if you're not doing it already, you need to play the long game. You need to be building a relationship with your leads, your prospects, your traffic, your visitors, okay, your viewers. And if you do that, I'm promising you will make more money in the long run, okay? This green line will just keep going up, okay? Your leads are going to love you. Your email list is going to grow. Your user base, your prospects, okay? Your income is going to keep growing month by month, and this is what happens for us. It never goes down. It always increases, okay? Is that pretty cool? So let's recap. We've covered a lot of stuff here real quick. We showed you behind the scenes of one of Jabril's Facebook ads that is returning $625 for every $20 spent. I then showed you the results of my personal campaigns and all the different ads that we've got running. Then I showed you the hidden treasures behind Facebook ads that has been responsible for multiple six figures in additional income for me for free.